Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for guitarlessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Bringin On The Heartbreak by Def Leppard. So this is an oldie but a goodie, and we're going to be in standard tuning here. Couple of, the opening guitar harmony. So we have a couple definitive guitar parts there to learn together. And then we'll just start tackling the entire song, all the solos, everything, as we get to them, all right, as in the same order they happen in the song. So let's start here with this intro, which I just played the bottom harmony part, so I'm going to show you that real quick, then I'll show you the top harmony part if you have a second guitar player to jam with. So let's start here with this. Alright, so we're going to have the, let me just take that delay off real quick. That didn't work. Alright, so we have this. So we're going to start at the 5th fret on the G, 5, 7, over to 5 on the B string. And then back to the 5th fret on the G. For this. Then we're pretty much going to do the same lick, except we're going to have a different ending note. The ending note is now the 7th fret on the D string. First time through. Alright, third time through. Starts with the same 3 notes again, and then we go into this bend at the 7th fret on the G string. So do that a couple times, a whole step bend. While you're holding that, play the 8th fret there on the B string with your pinky, and pick the 7th fret and release the bend. Down to 5, and then slide to 9, 7, 5, 4. And then end it with a pull off of 5 to 4 on the G. To 5 on the D, up to 7. Alright, now the top harmony part sounds like this. Alright, so the same phrasing, just play it along with the bottom half. So let's look at this one. We're going to have 5 on the B, 5, 7 on the high E. Resolve it down to the 5th fret there on the B. Now this next one's a little weird. We have 5, 6, back to the open string. You hear a definitive open string there. Open high E string, and then back to the 6th fret on the B. Then the same 3 notes we started with, that 5 on the B to 5 on the high E, to 7 on the high E, and you can slide down from that 7. Alright, now this goes with those 7s on the G string. This is going to be, they're going to be bending the 8th fret on the B string with it. And as we did before, you're going to grab the 8th fret there on the high E string, and then pick the 8 on the B again, release, down to 5. So this. From there we just have 8, 6, 5, 7 on the G. So 8, 6, 5 on the B, 7 on the G then. And that's 5 on the B, 7 on the G, 4, 5. Alright, so that's it for the harmony part. Let me cut that gain off and get to a clean setting here, and we're going to have this verse riff. I'm just going to repeat that. So we're going to start here with your open A string, then the 2nd fret there on the D, 2nd fret on the G. When you get to that G string, pull off to the open string. Then back to the 2nd fret there on the D. Now we have a little bit easier. We're going to move up to the 3rd fret here on the D and play your pinky at the 5th fret on the G string. So you pick the D, then the G, open B string, back to the G string. So we have this. Let them all ring out as much as you can. And then we have this, which is the open A again, 2nd fret on the D, a little bit of a stretch, 5th fret on the G string, back to the 2nd fret on the D. So far we had this. From there, we're going to have this. So it's really nice sounding little chord progression here. So we have 3rd fret on the low E, and then we have the 4th fret on the G and 2nd fret on the D. So I'm picking the low E, then the G string, then the D, then back to the low E. So out of that previous chord, then we're to here. Alright, so I'm using my 1st finger there on the low E string. Now if you really want to arc your fingers, you can use your 2nd finger there on the G, and then the pinky here at the 3rd fret on the B string. So I'm picking low E, then the G, B, back to G. And then I just pick a cross from the high E to the B, G, and the open D. I always kind of just try to pick in the direction of the next string I'm going to pick. So that last note was a downstroke, and then I'm going to reach to this. Now I think Steve Clark actually plays like this. I'm going to play it like this because it's kind of easier to go from that previous chord. Either way you want to do it. It's 1st fret on the high E string, 3rd fret on the B, 3rd fret on the G. So high E, B, G, B, and then just do this. Pick the 3rd fret there on the G there, move up to the 4th fret, then play 3rd fret on the B, high E, open, and back to the B string. Now try to let all these notes ring out as much as possible. Start over. Really cool riff there. It's just got some really cool techniques, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to play, so you might take a little bit of practice. All right, now coming out of that, we have the pre-chorus. I'm going to kick the distortion back in, and it sounds like this. And actually, that was probably the end of the verse there. So you want to kind of, it's the power chord off the 3rd fret of the A string. What I'm doing is going to pick the palm mute, heavily palm mute, 3rd fret on the A string, then the D, and then pick the power chord, slide up 2 frets, and back down. Then we're going to come and play the power chord off the low E string, 3rd fret, and then just pick across it. So it's 6 on the low E, A, D, A. So we have this. And then we go up here to the 5th fret off the A string and play just like we did here. So just pick the first 2 and then play the chord, slide up and down, and then come down to the 2nd fret power chord off the A and pick across it just like we did this one down here. So A, D, G, D. So we have this all together. All right, and then that takes us to the pre-chorus. Now, while that's going on, we have, you know, they're also doing this with. So that's their kind of later guitar parts here. And then we have this pre-chorus. All right, so that's pretty easy. It's just based off those two power chords, the one at the 3rd fret on the A string on the first beat, and then move over to the low E string 3rd fret power chord, and then play for the remaining 3 beats, 1, down, 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 down. So it's just like 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do that for 4 measures, and then it just kind of stops right towards the end of the last measure. And then we have the chorus, which is the easiest part of this song to play because it's just based off a 1-note riff. Sounds like this. All right, so that is just the 5th fret of low E, down to the 1st fret with a lot of vibrato, and then up to the 3rd fret. That same down, 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 down rhythm that we did in the pre-chorus. All right, and then at the end, just end it with that power chord off the 3rd fret. All right, from there we have the first guitar solo. It's a quick little one, and it just happens over the verse kind of clean guitar progression we were doing. But the guitar solo sounds like this. All right, so you're going to start that with the unison bend here, 10th fret on the B string, and then the 12th fret on the G. This solo is played by Steve Klorek, so we have this. So you do that, you're picking the 12th fret on the G and you're bending it up a whole step while you're holding the 10th fret on the B with it. So do that twice, then do it again, and one more time. And that the 3rd time of doing it, you're going to play the once, then just resolve that bend to a normal 12th fret with some vibrato on the G string. Then come down to the 7th fret on the G and do a couple of bends, a couple whole step bends there. All right, and there's a slight pause, and we have this. So that's the 1st fret on the low E string, and then a quick little slight bend of the 3rd fret, kind of slightly bending up a half step into the open A. Then the 3rd fret there on the A string. Slide to 5, 3 on the D, slide 5 to 7 on the D, 5, 4 on the G. All right, so now underneath that was the verse riff. Now we go back through the verse, pre-chorus, chorus, everything is the same again, and then that takes us to the main guitar solo. So let me show you the main guitar solo real quick, and then I'll show you the chords, simple power chords that are going on underneath it. All right, so let's have some fun. Here we go. All right, so that one's a cool one. So we're going to start here with those same unison bends that we did in the first solo. So we're just going to play the bend, then do it again, Then you're gonna jump back to the 5th fret here. So that you're gonna do a double stop here across the 5th fret of the B and the high E string. Then play 8, 7, 5 on the high E string, 8, 5 on the B, and then 7, 5, 4 on the G. There's some little pinch harmonics in there too. Maybe not that much. All right, then down here we have this. So that is going to be a slight bend at the 3rd fret on the A string, over to the 5th fret on the low E, then play that 3 on the A string, pick 5 and slide to 7, then play 5, 7 on the D, to 5 on the G, and then you're going to do a bend and release to the 7th fret on the G, pull off to 5th fret, over to the 7th fret on the D. Pick that a couple times you want to, and then we have this. All right, so it's kind of a weird one. We're gonna 10th fret there on the B, and then the 8th fret on the high E string a quick little triplet, just 3 times, and then play 9 on the G, 10 on the high E, back to 9 on the G. One more time. All right, and then we have this lick. All right, so we have the bend at the 15th fret on the high E string twice. And then we have this. So that's a hammering 12 to 15 on the high E string. Pull back up to 12. And then put 15 on the B string, back to 12 on the high E, back to 15 on the B. Then 13, 12 on the B, over to 14 on the G string. All right, next phrase. So that's gonna hammer 14 to 15 on the A string, slightly muted too, and then 12, 14, 15 on the D. Then to 14 on the G, then 13, 12 on the B. So it starts slowing down there. And the last little lick, we do that again. So that's just 20, 19, 17 on the high E, 17 on the B, 17 on the G, 16 to 17 on the G. And we're back to... All right, so underneath that solo, we're just gonna have some power chords. Now those power chords probably have the little arpeggiated. But you can just play the power chords with it too. It's probably a guitar layer there. So if you want to add that pattern to it, you can, but I'll just show you the chords. So we have A, this is 5th fret on the low E, then 1, 3, and open E. So the A power chord, F, G, E, then to C power chord off the 3rd fret of the A string. Then the A power chord again. Oh, those A's can be played here too if you want. C, A, G, F. So far we have this. A, F, G, E, C, A, G, F. Then we're going to end it with C, G, D, B. I'll play through those chords one more time for you. Just try to hum that guitar solo in your head along with it. All right. Back to the outro chorus. Now over that chorus, there's a quick little guitar solo. I'll play that for you real quick. Sounds like this. Alright, so there's a dive bomb there. I'm not going to do that because it's going to throw my guitar out of tune. So we're going to start here with just an oblique bend, which is going to be playing the 15th fret on the high E string, and then the 15th fret on the B string together. Now while you do that, you're going to bend up the note on the B string. Do that a few times. Release. Pull off the 13. Over to 14 on the G string. Then we have this. So that's just the 13th fret there on the B string bent up slightly over to 14 on the G. So you do that kind of like 3 or 4 times. And then we have this. So out of that, we have 13, 15 on the B, bend up, grab the 15 on the high E string, pick 15 on the B string, and pull off to 13. And then over to the 15th fret on the high E string. So that's a bend, then pick 15 without the bend, do the bend again, pick without the bend, and then bend again. So then move up to the 20th fret there on the high string. So it's doing the same thing, bend, and release. So you're picking the unbent note into the bent note. So you do like 5 bends in there. That's 20, 19, 17 on the high E string. And then the bend there, the 20th fret on the B string. And it slides down here, and we have this. So that's 7 on the D, 5, 4 on the G, 3 on the D, then 5, 4 on the G, and then 5 twice on the D string. And then you throw your guitar out or two. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for guitarlessons365.com.